What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we did a Apple CarPlay retrofit into a Jaguar XE. We filmed the whole installation for you guys to watch. Customer loved it, come up really good. So if you have any questions regarding the install, just drop them in the comments below. Otherwise, enjoy. So first thing we need to do is remove the screen. Okay, so this panel's all clips. You do have to be very careful, and there's two little tabs on the top of the air vents there, so they need to get pushed down. So next up, we need to remove the center console because the main radio module's behind there. So what I've done here is just, this panel literally just clips in, sort of like that. So from the bottom, just pull, and then it will release. And that's going to allow you to remove this with clips. Okay, so what happened here is, we don't need to pull these all the way out. They just need to be released from their clips. So there's 1, 2, 3. And then what that does is allow this panel to slide up and out. I removed the glove box. Now there was mini screws. There's 1, 2, 3 underneath, 2 on the side, a few at the top, and a couple going straight back to the back of the glove box. Then I pulled this panel out just to see if there was screws behind here holding this in place, but that was not the case. It was just very strong clips. So I've released one side, just pull. And so that panel is just held in by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 very strong clips. Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you very much. Now, once the climate is out, so we undid those 2 T20s. There's another 2 T20s, so that will remove this panel right here. Okay, so that's our buttons out of the way. This is the main radio module. It's what we needed. Got 2 more screws in that. Okay, now all that stuff's out, we can look at our modules. So we've got our NetPlay, that's our Apple CarPlay Android Auto module. Microphone for voice control. This is our multimedia interface for the car. So these two work sort of together. LVDS, plug and play quad lock connector. So here is our multimedia interface. Now, like I said, there is a few bits and pieces that goes into this. Now, we did the LVDS connection. Now, I've removed the screen. It was just 4 Torx bolts. We have, from that plug and play harness, so that's been plugged in, there's a little harness that comes off of it. That's the power for the module. There's a digital output through HDMI. So I've just run that down here. Now, that's so we can mount that other module that we saw. NetPlay module is going to go down there. Multimedia interface is going to sit, also there's RCA inputs for cameras, and if you want to add a front camera, rear camera, whatever. Now what we're going to do with this, and I'll explain why, is sit it right there like that. So the screen only goes one way. So the screen's still going to sit no problem. That's going to get double-sided down onto this. There's like a plastic piece that runs across, double-sided, and some zip ties around it just to hold it in place. And the reason for that, as the original LVDS cable that was originally going into that silver radio module is fairly short, and it's just connected to this loom right here. So I just want to make sure you can see that. No, you can't. So the LVDS that we've got going into our module, that's the original LVDS, so that's connected to this. Okay, so it's going from the radio to the module through this one, and from the module out to the screen. We have a very short, sorry, the lighting is terrible, it's just the way the sun is. Very short cable here, so it's 10 times easier for everyone if we just mount the module right there, double side it down, zip tie it down so it doesn't go anywhere, very accessible. We have our dip switch settings here if we need to access them, and yeah, that's it. So essentially we can get this neatened up, plug our power in, plug our LVDS in, you know, mount this, just get it sitting in place with a couple of screws so we can just start doing some basic testing at least. Okay, microphone is mounted and completely hidden. We've got multimedia interface mounted, double-sided, zip tied down, so everything here is ready to go back together. Main radio module screwed back in. What we've done with the USB is just, it's got to be cleaned up still, but got it on the fly lead here. So you've got fly lead, all the OEM features are still going to work, so all he has to do is plug in his cord and then have it coming out through wherever they've designed the cord to go through, and then you can sit your phone wherever you need, or you can even have your phone left in there. And now all that's left is to put everything back in and do the final testing. The module was switching on its own, so it was like, hello, CarPlay, and then it would switch to the factory screen, and then CarPlay and whatever, right? So what we did was looked at the dip switch settings. So there's different dip switch settings for different cars, as in the same car with different options, like a bigger screen, smaller screen. And then now because we are using two different modules, okay, we're using a multimedia interface and we're using a CarPlay module. What has to happen is, because there's different, you know, there's more than just one CarPlay module, and there's different types, there's variables of everything, which means our little kit comes with, I've lost it, no I haven't, I left it plugged in, this little 4-button system. And what this is, or button plug or whatever, you can go through the menu and change certain things. So what happened was I changed dip switches, and we got it all working, and there was no touch screen. So we went into the menu, changed the navigation module to, you know, the right one, NetPlay, so it would work, okay? Alright guys, that is the job done. Everything is put back together. We're ready for testing, so we'll show you how it all looks and works. There's a couple more things to do, tiny little things to clean up, but I'll do all that now, and then we will test it. Alright guys, that is Apple CarPlay. So as you can see, we've got all genuine features. Go ahead and press the nav button, switch us over to Apple CarPlay, and then from here we've got obviously CarPlay. You can go on Spotify, play some tunes. Alright, and yeah.